This is a square one, and I don't really have a segue into the rest of the video. What's up guys, it's Lord of the Cubes, and today I'm gonna be presenting a puzzle that someone else designed but was my idea inspired by some YouTube comments. Okay, let me get into this. When I made a YouTube short about a puzzle I designed called the Pentagon Equal, people asked in the comments about a square eye. Now that got me thinking, how exactly would a square eye work? Well, a square 1 has 8 pieces per layer, a square 0 has 4, a square 2 has 12. Basically the number of pieces on any square n puzzle is defined by the number in the name of the puzzle. So again, square 0 has 4, square 1 has 8, square 2 has 12. That tells us that the number of pieces per layer is always 4n plus 4, where n is the number in the name of the puzzle. This is why when I made my square 3, I made it with 16 pieces per layer. Anyway, people in my comments were asking about I, the imaginary number, and how that would work for a square n puzzle. For those of you who aren't familiar with I, it's called an imaginary number because it doesn't really exist. It's basically what some mathematicians came up with because they wanted to take the square root of -1. So a square I would have 4i plus 4 pieces per layer. This is called a complex number. The 4 part's really easy. In fact, we could just take a square 0 and modify it because this already has 4 pieces per layer. The slice layer doesn't count for this, by the way, if it wasn't obvious. But how would you get imaginary pieces on a puzzle? Well, this is where the answer starts to get really abstract, but I'm gonna do my best to explain it. Imaginary pieces are actually already a thing in twisty puzzles, and I'm going to try to explain it and probably do a bad job, so bear with me. Basically, every piece you see on this 3x3 is considered a real piece. So this edge piece can be moved by turning the R side or the U side. This corner can be moved by turning R, F, or U, and the center can be turned just with U. But there are also some combinations of moves that would turn pieces that don't exist. For example, there aren't any pieces that can only be turned by the blue or green face, but none of the rest of the faces. A few people have made puzzles that do contain all of these imaginary pieces that would be on a 3x3. Fittingly, this puzzle is called the complex 3x3. So let's look at our square 0 again. Since there are only 3 types of moves on any square n puzzle, U, D, or the slice, the only imaginary pieces we could really try to squeeze into this would be pieces that are affected by U and D. I thought of this idea and had no freaking clue how to design it. So I reached out to my friend Akay, who also has designed multiple complex puzzles in the past, and he fairly quickly whipped up this design for the square eye. So on the surface, this appears to just be a circle square 0, but that is far from the case. As you can see, all these outer pieces here turn just like a square 0 would. And these inner pieces always turn with the U layer. However, the D layer also turns with the U layer. So these inner circle pieces are our imaginary pieces in our complex square n puzzle, aka the square eye. And it does fulfill the requirement of 4 imaginary pieces and 4 real pieces per layer. Solving this puzzle is actually pretty fun. The mechanism that allows both sides of the circles to move was accomplished using gravity pins, which means that we actually cannot turn the D layer at any point. You can actually kind of see the pins in there keeping it in place. However, you can always just rotate the cube upside down and it will suddenly become available again. Adding super stickers to this does have a small impact on the solve, but it's fairly easy to fix. And because I don't know what else to do with this video, I'm gonna try to solve this puzzle. Alright, we've got this all scrambled up now, and we are going to solve it now. So I guess the first thing I'm gonna do is solve all of the outer pieces. I'll be honest, I haven't actually solved this puzzle in a while, so I don't remember what the best way to solve it is, but I'm confident that I will be able to solve it again, because I have done so before. Alright, I'm hoping this will just magically fix the middle pieces, but I know that's not realistic. Okay. So as you can see, these middle pieces did not get solved, neither did the slice layer. So apparently the way to solve this is just to keep it in this position, and then do the slice layer fixing algorithm. And now I guess all these inner pieces are solved. So before I end the video, there is one thing I want to address. These 4 pieces and these 4 pieces are technically the same 4 pieces, considering that they always move together, and mechanically they are the same 4 pieces, I think. So I'm anticipating questions about whether that really counts as 4 pieces per layer. Well, shut up. I'm gonna go with yes, because each layer still has 4 imaginary and 4 real pieces on it. Just because they're the same pieces shouldn't make much of a difference. And 2, because I can't think of a better alternative for a square eye. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'd like to give an absolutely massive shout out to Akay for making this puzzle possible, as well as the absolute goats in the comments that suggested this. Without any of them, this puzzle would not exist today, and I am happy to own one. And on that note, this is Lord of the Cubes, signing off. Things really don't spin as well on the new desk, do they?